What's the situation with the WBO?
Nothing. They've you got Ruiz fighting Parker, so we'll have to see after that fight. We'll have to see. I think they're fighting December the 10th. Yeah, so after that fight, then I think we've got to negotiate something. But I'm not worrying about that fight until after this belly fight.
What do you make of Parker then? He's upcoming prospect. He's fighting for a world title now. What do you make of him as a fighter?
Yeah, he's good. You know, him and Andy Ruiz. You know, both very good prospects. Both undefeated. You know, unbeaten. They've haven't fought the best opponents out there yet, but no worse than any other prospect or any other of the heavyweights at the time. So I think we'll know a little bit more about both of them after this fight, as it's the first time they're in a fight against someone unbeaten and someone who's coming to win. So they're both prospects currently, but these prospects, one of them are going to have the WBA title soon. So let's hope it causes a stir. Let's hope it gets. I haven't heard too much hype about it just yet. Hopefully, as it gets closer to the fight, it will build up, because the bigger that fight is, the better it is. Now, I don't really want it to go under the radar like it currently is. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that they'll start screaming and shouting, and it'll sort of capture. I'm not sure if it is it getting screened in England. Is it? I haven't seen any.
Box Nation, I think.
Box Nation have got it, yeah.
I think so.
Two more questions.
David, just finally, what do you make on recent announcement?
Sorry, what was that?
Recent announcement made that Lucas Browne failed another drug test. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think he'll get a fine, and he'll probably be allowed to box on. That's all I think it'll be. You know, he already failed already, and he had like a 6-month ban. But you know, will he fight for that title again? I don't know, because the blood test was by someone else. It's all a bit of a mess. That's why I'm just happy to be fighting Bellew, because for instance, if I would have had him as my opponent for the potential December 10th date, it would have happened anyway, because he just failed a drug test. Yeah. So I'm letting the whole situation pan out how it's going to pan out. I'll fight Tony Bellew. So on March the 5th, I can sit down and look at the heavyweight landscape as it changes all the time. Like Povetkin and Severn, there was some issue with one of his tests, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, that might happen. I don't know. So let the heavyweight situation play out how it plays out. I'm going to knock out Bellew, then March the 5th, sit down, see where the chips lay, and then sort of make my decision from there.
One last question.
Fight, David? Is it a fight that you still want?
Listen, Briggs makes so much noise. I'd love that fight, but it has to be on pay-per-view for him to fight me. After this fight, it may be able to be on pay-per-view, so that fight might be able to happen then. But up until this point, it can't happen, because he can't get the WBA title online, which he said he could get. So I think that all that screaming and shouting is all good and well, but if you're not willing to fight on a terrestrial network like he wasn't up until this point, then stop shouting. But you know, there's a few sort of people online who listen to screaming so much they believe everything he says. So let them keep believing it, and as long as they're engaged in some way, shape or form, good luck to them. But come fight night, you know, he's got no chance of beating me in any way, shape or form. He's got about as much chance as Tony Bellew has. I'm just way too fast, way too agile, punch too hard. And if he thought he took a beating against Vitaly Klitschko, he's going to get that times 10. You know, but some are saying he might get a shot at the WBA title now as well. So great, if he can get that title, then it'd be a fight that I think I'd like that fight. I'd definitely like that fight, because there's a few people online particularly who want to see that fight. So great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
That's it. Sorry, guys.
Bye, mate.
Sorry, we're out.